Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 55 of the Walk with Ethan Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to talk about the shows from Monday, July 24th through Thursday, July 27th, and also talk about the Prestige Wrestling show from July 23rd. So, we'll just jump right into it. So, we'll start with the Prestige Wrestling, Prestige Wrestling All Rise from July 23rd. So, the opening match, tag team match with Bobby Orlando and Colin Delaney defeat Ace of Space Academy, Leon St. Giovanni, and Max St. Giovanni. 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Alan Angels v. Juan Carl Manders, 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Mike Bailey v. Akira, 18 minutes and 1 second. Cy Brooks v. Janai Kai, 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Jay Christ v. Robert Martyr, 9 minutes and 27 seconds. Since Martyr lost, he can no longer wrestle in Prestige Wrestling. Originally, we were supposed to get a match between Kevin Blackwood and Malachi Black, but that never happened, so it got turned into a tag match where Blackwood and Malachi Black defeated Alan Angels and Jay Chris, 7 minutes and 48 seconds. Trish Adora defeated Mikey Ito, 13 minutes and 43 seconds. In the main for the Prestige title, the champion Alex Shelley defeats Jonathan Gresham to retain the title at 18 minutes and 31 seconds. Out of the show, I recommend checking out the Mike Bailey Akira match, the Trish Adora Mikey Ito match, and the main event the Prestige title. That's the only three I recommend checking out. But there's Prestige Wrestling. And then we will hop over to Monday, July 24th. For Monday Night Raw, we were kicking off with Judgment Day is in the ring with Mr. Money in the Bank. David Priest calls for fans to rise before Women's World Champion represents Judgment Day runs of WWE. And then Finn Balor and his fellow Judgment Day members were thrown to a video of Dominic Mysterio winning the North American title this past Tuesday on NXT. Before Rhea introduces the champ, Dominic Mysterio makes his way down the ring. He said he is the new and fighting NXT North American champion. Before he continued, we hear the music of Kevin Owens and the tag team champions, him and Sami Zayn, appear. Owens says the same thing happened last week in regards to fans that want to hear Dominic talk. He says it really bothers him when people don't learn a lesson. And since Dominic didn't learn a lesson from last week, he gets blunt by telling Dominic that no one cares what he thinks. He says the best thing he can do for the professional wrestling business is shut his mouth forever. Dominic says he'll not be disrespected now. He's a champion. Sami says, well, that's true. No one in this arena respects him. He says he has any idea from Dominic. Sorry, I can't talk today. To earn some respect and challenge to a one-on-one match. Dominic accepts the match. And then Sami reminds that Judgment Day made a big deal about their tag team titles not being up for grabs during the match last week. So he calls Dominic out to put his North American title on, and Rhea accepts on the behalf of Dominic. So we'll get that match later in the show. Their opening match of the show, Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark. If Lynch wins, she gets match Trish Stratus. If she loses, she has to get a tattoo across her chest as thank you, Trish. So Lynch wastes no time. She fires stomps on Zoe in the corner and hits a short tackle. Stark slides out of the ring for Brie, looks to get back in once she recovers, but Becky knocks her off the apron. So he actually spills to the outside, and Becky gets Zoe back inside the ring for Stark hits a dropkick off the top rope, and Lynch face first in the top rope as we cut to a commercial break. When we come back for break, Lynch and Stark repeatedly crash into the barricade, gets her back in the ring, climbs on top rope, hits a leg drop, followed by a boot to the jaw. And then she draw kicks Zoe back out of the ring, hits an elbow drop off the apron, dumps her back inside. Trish Stratus tries to take a cheap shot, takes a cheap shot. Becky, while the referee distracted, this allows Zoe the headed kick, goes for the cover, only got a 2 count. Stark hits an insecurity and goes to the top rope, but Becky meets her up there, hits a superplex. Then she looks for an armbar, but Zoe counters into a powerbomb. Lynch tries to go for the manhandle slam, but Stark reverses into a rope for a 2 count, so Becky locks in the disarmer. Trish hops on the apron, distractor. Becky lets go of the move. So he rolls her up, but Lynch kicks out and hits the manhandle slam for the win at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Fun little match. I just went 6 out of 10. And honestly, this was pretty predictable. They didn't really say it was made for SummerSlam, but we pretty much know it's going to be for SummerSlam, but which I'll talk about at the end of this review. So Cody Rhodes makes his way down to the ring. Then he asks Tampa, Florida what they want to talk about. Then says everyone saw Brock Lesnar's attack on him last Monday in front of his mother. He says he didn't have that on his 2023 bucket list, but he isn't a surprise. He says he's rather impressed, but his mother did not share the same feelings as him. Cody says his mother has been around wrestlers countless times, and Lesnar made a mistake by leaving them breathing. He says he does not want to go to SummerSlam anymore to win the rubber match, but rather to embarrass him. He dares Brock to come and get him, and says he wants to be at SummerSlam because Lesnar deserves it. He says he wants to look back on their match to see the final chapter he penned and end things once and for all in their upcoming match. Good promo here from Cody. but let's see if he can keep on his word. Then we go our second match of the show for the NXT North American Television Champion Dominic Mysterio defends one half on the Undisputed Tag Team Champion Sami Zayn. Match starts with a lock up and they go back for submission holds before Sami close on Dominic out of the ring. Let's go fly and take him down as we go to a commercial break. When we come back for break, Sami climbs the top rope, but Damian Priest pushes him off as Rhea Ripley distracts the referee. So Kevin Owens takes out Priest, but the referee catches him and ejects from ringside. So Ripley and Priest are laughing at him as Kevin Owens makes his way to the back, but the referee ejects them from ringside, and that's why they stop laughing. Sami hits a Michinoku drop. It looks to charge Dominic, but Dominic slides out of the ring. Once he gets inside, he hits a drop kick before Sami hits a clothesline. He climbs back up to the top rope, but Dominic meets him there. So Sami knocks him off and looks to go flying, but Mysterio catches him with a drop kick in midair, then fires up right hand, stomp, and then another drop kick. Tries to go for the three Migos, but Sami escapes. He looks to plant Dominic, but Dominic hits a Hurricane since Sami into the ropes. Tries to go for the 619, but Sami counters and hits a Blue Thunder Bomb. Dominic slides out of the ring, but looks to slide out of the ring, but Sami pulls him back inside, but Dominic fights his way out of the grasp. Hits a draw kick to the spine, sends him in the ropes once again, and it connects with the 619 for a 2.5 count. Sami fires up right hands on Dominic before Dominic comes back with the three Amigos, climbs the top rope, looks for a frog splash, but Sami gets his knees up and hits an Explorer suplex, tries to go for a hula kick, but Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest appear on the ramp and with Owens laid out on the ground. So Sami gets distracted and Dominic rolls him up to score the victory at 12 minutes. This was fun. Honestly, probably out of the three title defenses Dominic's had, this is probably his best one. I give this one 7 out of 10. As of right now, I'll tell with the NXT stuff when we get to the NXT. Then after match, Sami runs up the ramp to check on Kevin Owens, is joined by medical personnel. In the meantime, Dominic escapes for the crowd. Then we come back from break. We see Owens being checked on in the medical office as Sami and Adam Pearce stand by. There was a report from Fightful that Owens is legit injured. We know how long's going to be out. And we head over to video recapping the confrontation. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns passed right on SmackDown. Then we go backstage. Ricochet asked Shinsuke Nakamura if you knew where Logan Paul was. Nakamura said he did not, and then Ricochet exits the scene. Once Nakamura turns around, he sees Tommaso Ciampa smiling at him. Ciampa says he'll let Nakamura kick him in the face slide because he caused him his match. He told Nakamura he only gets one free shot. Then he says he has to sell things in Bronson Reed and does not want to see Nakamura out there. He says if he shows up, they'll have a problem. Then somewhere else backstage, we see Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest walking backstage. When they cross across Apollo Crews talk with Akira Tozawa, Dominic tells Apollo to show some respect for the NXT North American champion. Apollo asks Dominic he's going to act like he wasn't staying there. Priest says because I was going to act and there's still a problem. So Ripley asked Tozawa the same. He said no and made a quick exit, which I kind of laughed a little bit. And then Crews says Joshua Day walked around picking on people. Love to see him try on him. Priest says that they're really going to say that to the most dangerous man in WWE. So Damian told Apollo he received his punishment tonight, and after they leave, Tozawa returns to Crews he had this. And then our third match of the show, Tommaso Ciampa goes on Bronson Reed. This set up from last week after Ciampa attacked Reed that got him the DQ win. So both men waste no time going after each other before Reed tosses Ciampa out of the ring, follows him out there, and they trade right hands on the apron. Once they get back into the ring, Ciampa fires a stomps on Reed in the corner, hits a running knee. Reed comes back with a power slam and then stomps on the chest of Ciampa before connecting with an elbow drop. Ashley goes back up to the outside. Reed looks to go flying, but Ciampa catches it with a midair knee. That's still a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Reed hits the powers on the Ciampa again before Ciampa comes back with a boot and hits it with an inverted DDT, series of forearms and right hands before hitting a bunch of splashes. Hits a rolling elbow and a modified famouser. Tries to go for a sunset flip on Reed. So he just sits on him, drags him into the corner, hits a senton, but Ciampa comes back with chops and boot. He exposes and he runs to ropes, but Reed catches with a clothesline. They stare each other down and they trade forearms before Ciampa lands a knee strike, falls with an air raid crash for a 2 count. Then we see Nakamura makes his way down the ring side and Ciampa stares him down. As it gets distracted, Reed hits a short tackle off the apron, throws him back in the ring, and hits the Tsunami for the victory at 12 minutes and 58 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this match. I just won 7 out of 10. This protects Ciampa a little bit where Nakamura distracted him. And then we go backstage Barnsides with Liv Morgan. And he said that Raquel Rodriguez was hurt from Rhea Ripley's attack last week and should be back soon. That's what Morgan said to Barn. Before she pointed out she was the last person to defeat Rhea Ripley. She said maybe she'll get beat up, maybe she won't. But she said she won't back down, so she last watch me before leaving. Then we see the women's tag team James Deville and Chelsea Green show up. Deville was bothered by Saxon interviewing Morgan instead of giving them time. Barnes says he interviewed them last week, and Morgan has a match later in the show. So Chelsea Green complained that everything revolved around Morgan Ripley. Deville stops screaming when she knows Rhea Ripley was standing next to Barn before they made a quick exit. And then she recalls that she told Liv and Raquel to stay over her business. Since they don't listen, so she took out Raquel and then Morgan's next. Then we go into the office of Adam Pearce where he's showing the World Heavyweight Championship runs the contract for the SummerSlam match with Finn Balor. And this was supposed to be a match where we never happened. Non-title match, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. As Morgan was making her way down the ring. I don't know where Ripley came from. It looked like the crowd or under the ring or something, but she like blindsided her. Sends a crash on the barricade in the ring post, sends her arm bouncing off the timekeeper's barricade, grabs a steel chair. Morgan slides in the ring, falls her inside, and then puts her arm inside the chair and stomps on it. Medical team runs down to check on Morgan. Rhea laughs at her, grabs her title, and reminds her that who she is before does it again for the second time, and then makes her way out to the back. So this match never happened, so I can't give it a rating, but honestly, I didn't really need the second stomp. Honestly, I think that second stomp to the chair was unnecessary. I think one was good enough, but that's just me nitpicking. But yeah, so that match never happened. And then after that, the broadcast team recovered the ankle, as the chair was shown to Morgan in the backstage area while Pierce stood by. And then backstage again, we see Chad Gable congratulating the Viking Raiders winning on the Viking rules match. He says no one knows what the rules are. They should have an Academy rules match. For Maxine Dupree says no one puts the Alpha Queen through a table, then challenges Valhalla to face her in a match next week before Otis yells, "Oh yeah." So Ricochet comes out into the ring and he asks where Logan Paul is and calls him out to the ring. He says there's a locker room, an arena full of people who know Paul doesn't belong in WWE. Calls himself special every time he gets in the ring. He says people doesn't think he belongs in WWE not because of his talent, but because of his arrogance. Ricochet, he's given his life to professional wrestling, but Paul doesn't understand all the sacrifices yet to be made and never will. He says where Paul is in the arena, he'll hear what to say. Then he challenges to a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. Then all of a sudden, we see Logan blindsides Ricochet from behind, accepts challenge, then pulls out his phone to record. He'll show everyone why he's in the best in WWE and goes, and that allows Ricochet. He kicks up and nails with a super kick before hitting a standard shooting star press, and it takes a selfie of Logan's phone to close that segment. And then we go backstage. Jackie Redmond's with Shayna Baszler. Baszler says she started to hear Ronda Rousey's name in reference to everything she does. She hasn't just talking to settle it in a match. Once out, so she's got somebody fighting Ronda Rousey. And then we see Logan Paul walking backstage. Barnes trying to get a word with them. Paul says Ricochet did was unprofessional. He feels victimized, but doesn't matter. He'll be in Raw next week to pop Ricochet's bald head off. And in our next match on the show, Mr. Money in the Bank Damian Priest goes well Apollo Crews. Priest wastes no time, so he hits a boot in a right hand, falls with a knee to the midsection of Crews. But Apollo dumps Priest out of the ring, hits a moonsault off the apron, gets it back inside, climbs to the top and connects with a crossbody, but Priest comes back with an elbow in the corner and followed by a broken arrow. Tries to go for the Self of Heaven, but Apollo escapes, hits a knee to then runs the ropes. But Priest catches him in the mat, hits a clothesline, and then another Self of Heaven. For the victory at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Honestly, these two could actually a good match. I kind of wish they had like 10 minutes at the most, but I'm going to give this one 5 out of 10. But I know these two could have a way better match. And then we see backstage Becky is walking as she spotted a toy skull when she moves Skull's mouth. She did it, and she told her she would. Before Jackie Redmond shows some interviews Becky and says her feud with Trish isn't over till she wins. Then we get a brief promo for the Viking Raiders. Eric says it's known in the 9 realms that no one likes to fight more than the Vikings. Ira says the gods are pleased when their battle in their names. For Fowler says it was a glad heart ship. Accepts Maxine Dupree's challenge because the gods smiled upon a brave woman before she told her to consult the gods because she would need them. So Imperium makes her way down to the ring, and then before they speak, we hear Drew McIntyre's music. He makes his way down to the ring. He says he heard what Gunther had to say last week, calls him for to put the Intercontinental on the line scene as they're both dressed for the occasion. Gunther makes sure he heard Drew clearly and says he raises Intercontinental to a whole new level, which is true. He says why fans connect with McIntyre. He says he likes him. He gets nothing done in life. It reminds him of his previous shortcomings against him. He tells McIntyre he can write his coattails and will humiliate him once more during their SummerSlam match. Then Drew tells the story how he first met Sheamus, daydreaming of having a singles match at WrestleMania. They got to do that during their triple threat Intercontinental match with Gunther at WrestleMania. But SummerSlam would just be the two of them who will show Gunther why he is the chosen one. And then Ludwig Kaiser tells McIntyre to speak to Gunther in that matter before Drew says he likes him. He said he had charisma and should be the leader of Imperium, and Kaiser he won't let McIntyre disrespect Imperium. McIntyre then challenges him to a one-on-one match and calls for the referee to get down to the ring. So we go to our main event match. Drew McIntyre versus Ludwig Kaiser. Matt starts with a lockup, and then Kaiser has a right hand to the spine. But Drew comes back with a shoulder tackle, body slam, and closes like Kaiser's out of the ring. Hits a pair of chops to crash into the barricade. Falls up with a chop and dumps Kaiser back in the ring when Giovanni Vinci hops up on the apron. That allows Kaiser to send McIntyre into the ring post, drags him by his feet, and draw kicks him out of the ring as we cut to a commercial break. After the break, Kaiser and McIntyre tear on the ropes. McIntyre plants Kaiser with an air raid crash off the middle, then hits a pair of suplexes and a backbreaker, and then he kicks up. Tries to go for the Claymore, but Kaiser nails him with a nice enziguri followed by an uppercut, second enziguri. Then once he runs the ropes, McIntyre catches it with the Claymore to score the victory at 9 minutes and 20 seconds. This was actually a fun match. I just went 6 out of 10. And then after the match, Gunther and Vinci attack McIntyre, but Riddle runs down the ring and makes a save, but Gunther takes him out with a powerbomb and hits a kick to McIntyre on the floor and hits a right hand. He clears the announce table, tries to go for a powerbomb. McIntyre carries with a back body drop, and he powerbombs Gunther for the announce table for holding up the Intercontinental above his head. I'm really excited to see this match at SummerSlam. That's going to be one of the matches of the night, honestly, I hope. And then we go backstage, we see Jackie Rimmon ask Ronda Rousey about Shayna Baszler challenge for a fight. Rousey says she doesn't just have a fight. She's when she fights, it's the fight before she accepts the challenge, and then she walks away. Then we go to our main event segment of the show, a contract signing for the world title match at SummerSlam. Finn Balor says Adam Pearce was supposed to be here, but he's currently preoccupied with all the Havoc Judgment Day wrecked earlier. Then he thinks World Champion Seth Rollins himself can't handle things like gentlemen and calls him out to the ring. So Seth Rollins makes his way down the ring, and he signs the contract and immediately hands over to Balor. He hesitates before he signs, and Rollins says it's because Balor has figured out that he has no chance to win the world title at SummerSlam. Rollins says miracles do happen, and he should win the World Heavyweight title. His reign will even be shorter than his Universal title run because Damian Priest will cash his Money in the Bank briefcase on him. He says he would do the same thing, and so what Balor then adds that SummerSlam will be the end of Judgment Day. So Balor starts laughing and signs the contract, and he tells Rollins he thinks he has everything figured out. Although Rollins thinks he runs Raw, he's wrong because of Judgment Day. So we see the other members come for the crowd. They surround the ring as Balor tells Rollins he's been losing for 7 years. He says he's been driving him insane. Asks Rollins if he knows what it feels like. Explains it's like an itch you can't quite scratch, but that all ends at SummerSlam. So Rollins flips the desk and hits Priest with it before Dominic tries to tag him, but Rollins fights him off. Priest nails him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, teases a cash it in. And it stares down Balor before we see Sami runs over in a chair to fight Judgment Day. Rhea grabs a chair from Balor to attack him right hand. So Judgment Day throws all the furniture on the floor, and then Priest lays out Sami with the Cell of Heaven. They throw him outside and basically bury him with the furniture. So Rollins is all alone with Balor until Judgment Day joins him. He looks to fight them all, but it's overpowered by them. So Priest lays him out with the razor edge. Dominic hits a frog splash in the coup de grace, and Judgment Day stands tall to close out Raw. Although this wasn't actually a bad episode of Raw, I like last week's a little bit better than this one, but overall, I give this one up 6.5 out of 10. Honestly, only 2 matches I recommend from this show is the North American title match and Bronson Reed's Tommaso Ciampa. And the contract sign, that's really the only 3 things I say check out from Raw. Even Ricochet and Logan Paul, actually, I'd make that 4. This is the SummerSlam card for August 5th, as right with 8. I'm just going to say 8 because they didn't really technically make Lynch's trash official, but I'm still going to count anyway. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins defends the world title against Finn Balor. Asuka defends the women's title against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. Undisputed Universal title on the line, and the recognition of Tribal Chief titles on the line in a tribal combat match. Roman Reigns defends both against Jey Uso. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Ricochet versus Logan Paul. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. And Gunther defends Intercontinental against Drew McIntyre. And also on Raw for next week, we have Brock Lesnar and Logan Paul both returning, and Maxine Dupree goes one with Valhalla. That's all that's announced for Raw right now, but that is Monday Night Raw. And then we will head over to Tuesday, July 25th. So we will kick it off with night 7 of the 2023 New Japan's G1 Climax tournament. This is A and B block night. This is the first of 2 Corgan shows, by the way. I'll have my full thoughts on the G1 on the Above the Ring YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that channel as well. So we kick it off with non-title B block action. Will Ospreay, the United States Champion, defeat Great O'Khan, LM Mets in 20 seconds via Leap of Faith. And then an A block, Shota Umino defeating strong Upweight Tag Team Champion Gabriel Kidd at 13 minutes and 3 seconds via Death Rider. In a non-title B block action, Kenta defeating KOPW 2023 Champion Taichi 2 minutes 11 seconds via roll-up. And A block, Yoji Tsuji defeating Chase Owens 11 minutes and 42 seconds via spear. In B block, El Phantasmo gets finally on the board by defeating Tango Loa 12 minutes 14 seconds via Crucifix Pin. Then A block, Hikuleo defeating Ren Narita 11 minutes 58 seconds via Godsend. And our semi-main event, champion for champ B block action. Never openweight 6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada defeating IWGP Tag Team Champion Yoshihashi 16 minutes and 2 seconds via Rainmaker. And the main event from A block, non-title, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sanada defeating Kito Kiyomiya 19 minutes and 58 seconds. So here are the standings after night 7. And A block, first place, IWGP World Champion Sanada with 8 points, 4 wins, 0 losses. Kito Kiyomiya in second place with 5 points, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. And third place, strong openweight tag champ Gabriel Kidd Chase Owens title with 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses. And Shuma also has 4 points, but he has 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 draws. Yuzo Tsuji in fourth place with 3 points, 1 win, 2 losses, 1 draw. And in last place, Hikuleo with 2 points, 1 win, 3 losses. And Ren Narita has 2 points as well, but he has 0 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. And in B block, number openweight 6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada in first place with 4 points, 4 wins, 0 losses. Well, United States champ Will Ospreay in second place with 6 points, 3 wins, 1 loss. In third place, IWGP Tag Champ Yoshihashi, KOPW 23 Champ Taichi, and Kenta all have 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses. And in last place, Loa, sorry, can't talk today, sorry guys. El Phantasmo Guerrero Khan have 2 points, 1 win, and 3 losses. So that is night 7 of the G1. And it will go to NWA Power. So we had Carnage defeating Jack Stain by count of 4 minutes and 31 seconds. And then we had Knox, the 2023 Crockett Cup winners, Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch to beat Rush Jones and Scott, 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Blake Tripp defeating Mims by referee decision, 5 minutes and 43 seconds. In a non-title match, Jordan Clearon Addison defeating the United States Tag Team Champions, the Country Gentlemen, AJ Cons and Anthony Andrews, 7 minutes and 19 seconds. And the main for the junior heavyweight title champion, Kerry Moore retains over Matt Fine, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's NWA. And then we will go to NXT, where we kick it off with a recap of the North American title match from last week, and also the 2 title defenses from Dominic Mysterio against. I apologize. I said 3, so this is 2. His third will be coming up, which I'll double right now. And speaking of Judgment Day, Dominic and Rhea, they are in the ring, and Rhea says Judgment Day runs up WWE and cites the recent accomplishments of each member. She says she looks at all the fans' faces now that Dominic is North American champion, and Dominic says he finally made the Mysterio name relevant. She says she's curious Aliyah Fakir step up to her, but before she continues, we hear the music of the former champion Les Lee, and he makes way down the ring. He says he hates seeing his North American title in Dominic's hand, but because the North American title represents hard work and opportunity during his reign, he puts his heart and soul into that North American title, demands a rematch for the title. His NXT needs a North American champion. Les Lee agrees, but they need to happen in the show. Then we see Mustafa Ali's music hits. He makes it down the ring. Excuse me, sorry. And he's in love for Wesley, but it has the same for Dominic. He says Dominic stole his North American title from him because what he does is says Dominic stole his chance to become the North American champion at Great American Bash. And his scheduled match with Lee. He says West dropped the ball, but catches as he didn't mean it. He says Dominic cut the line, and West allowed him just to do that. He reminds him that he warned not to defend against Dominic, and so Wesley comes pissed off. He gets him Mustafa's face, but Dominic interrupts their stare down, says he doesn't care which of them he faces at the Bash. He said he will defend both on the behest of Rhea Ripley. So Mustafa looks to punch Dominic, but Dominic ducks out of the way and actually hits West. So Mysterio and Ripley snuck out of the ring as both men are brawling before taking out Dominic's absence out of the ring, and they stop themselves. Then we go backstage. Mackenzie Mitchell's with Tony D'Angelo and Stacks, and they'll say they will come the NXT tag champs before Bronco Lima and Lucien Price interrupt them before D'Angelo challenges them match later in the show, which was accepted. Backstage again, this time Mackenzie Mitchell's with Aliyah Fakir and said she needed to see where she's doing NXT to show the world who she was. Then her opening match, 6-man tag team match, and The Trick Mellow game, NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, teams up with Ilya Dragunov to go against Joe Gacy, Jagger, Rip Fowler, the Schism. So Carmelo and Joe Gacy lock up against match started before Gacy hits a short tackle, but Hayes fires back with a drop kick and a chop. Williams tags it and delivers a drop kick of his own, but Gacy levels him, takes a Rip Fowler. Trick fires a right hand on Fowler's midsection, but Fowler comes back with a shorter tackle. Williams hits a body slam and a short tackle of his own before landing a pop-up right hand. Ilya Dragunov takes himself and hits a chop, falls with an elbow drop and a jumping knee and delivers a knee off the middle rope, but Fowler sends Dragunov crashing into the corner and takes in Jagger Reed. Dragunov catches with a pair of German suplexes, looks for a third, but Reed fights his way out. Dragunov then levels Reed and tags in Williams. Trick whips Reed into the corner, but Reed levels him with a clothesline before taking a cheap shot at Carmelo. Carmelo gets in the ring, looks to take a Jagger, and this allows Fowler to get in the ring and help Reed wear down Williams. But Hayes eventually hops in the ring, helps Trick send the Dia crashing to the outside as we cut to a commercial break. When we come back from break, Reed wears down Carmelo with submission hold, but Hayes fights his way out and hits a super kick to Jagger, tags in Williams. Gacy tags in and Williams fires a right hand and delivers a drop kick in the knee. Falls with a flapjack before the pair spills to the outside. Dragunov tags in and looks for a running hip on Gacy, but he actually hits Williams, so Gacy takes advantage and sends Ilya back in the ring. Looks for the upside down, but Dragunov catches with a knee. Reed tags in and raises the right hands on Dragunov, then tags in Fowler as Ilya fights up the Dia, but Dia overpowers him, so Gacy tags in as a pair of masked men. Masked figures in Schism. Mask pulls the Dia off the apron. This opens the door to Carmelo. Takes himself in, goes to the top rope, and connects with the Nothing But Net for the victory at 11 minutes and 28 seconds. This was actually a really fun opening six-man tag. I just won 6 out of 10. And also, they actually got along because Carmelo Hayes and Elo are face off Mercury and McBatch, which I'll run on the card after this review. Thereafter the match, Williams yells at Dragunov, looks to find, but Carmelo keeps him from doing so. And then there's a video of the women's champion Tiffany Stratton since she was nowhere near her prime. She promised to defeat Thea Hill, Great American Bash, in her first pay-per-view as women's champion. Then our second match of the show, Von Wagner goes one with Javier Bernard. Bernard wastes no time to look for a series of moves, but Wagner just overpowers, raising right hands on the spine in the corner, falls with a big boot, and then more right hands, and it hits a looks like a gut wrench spinning Uranagi. I don't really know what the move is for the quick win at 56 seconds. And you know the rule on my show, if it's anything under a minute, I can't really review it. So I'm going to give this a NA because I can't really rate a short match. Then after the match, Wagner clears the announce on powerbomb Bernard for the table. And then out of nowhere, we saw Braun Breaker Spears shows up out of nowhere and just nails Wagner with a spear, grabs a chair, and hits Wagner's hand with him. Then after the break, Carmelo Hayes encounters Ilya Dragunov before Trick Williams walks in and gets a heated exchange with him to make it clear that he wants a chance to get his hands on him. And then all of them left. And this won't be we'll see more of them later. So Gable Stevenson makes way down the ring as he's got to make an announcement about his future. He thanks everyone at NXT and says many people might know who he is. He introduces him as a former Olympic gold medalist and a two-time NCAA champion. Before he could continue, Spear and Corbin appears on ringside and tells Stevenson that he should go back to college and the Olympics to win more championships. He tells Stevenson not to come to NXT unless he wants to fail, and says professional wrestling is an entirely different game. He says he's done everything he's been asked for the past 8 years, but he no longer cares. He says, well, Stevens is a bad man. He swam with sharks and stared eye to eye with a great white who's starving. Stevens says Corbin just made his decision easier and challenges him to his first ever professional wrestling match at Great American Bash before he lays him out with a pair of German suplexes. This was okay, Sam. I mean, we all know Corbin's going to lose to Stevenson, but it might be a good match, but we'll wait and see. The backstage, Dominic was for Ripley, and he asked her if challenging Ollie Williams to be able to a good idea, but her smile said, Mammy's always right. And then we go to a kendo stick match. I thought last week they said it was supposed to be on a pole and whoever grabbed it, but I guess they changed their minds. They probably didn't want to pull a Vince Russo. But anyway, this is Dana Brooke versus Cora Jade. So Cora Jade looks at Dana Brooke with a kendo stick, but Brooke meets her on the outside and overpowers her and then sends her in the ring, and the bell rings. And she rings her right hands for the action, spills back up to the outside, and Dana sends Cora crashing the ring steps. Then tosses her over the announcer, so grabs a kendo stick, tries to hit her in the hand with it, but Cora trips her. And then she grabs a candlestick around and cracks across the ribs of Dana, forcing her into the ring and face first. Hits her with the candlestick one more time to send her back in the ring. Then she throws multiple candlesticks in the ring, picks one up, and nails Brooke with it. Then polishes it onto the pile and locks a crossface using one of the sticks. But Brooks escapes, and Jay cracks his stick, crosses her ribs, and uses to trap Brooke in the corner and connects with a jumping knee. Tries to go for a double arm DDT, but Dana prevents her from hitting it and sends her into the candlestick spine first. Brooke hits a pair of clotheslines and a handspring out, but Core lands a DDT for a 2 count. Core grabs a chair from the outside and sets it up in the ring, then grabs a candlestick and looks to hit Brooke with it. Jordan hops on the apron, and Cora charges out with the stick, but she hops down before they can make contact. And Brooke gets off the chair and sets her face, drop toe holds her face first into it, and then uses the chair to spine a couple of times. So Jordan hands Dana a pink candlestick and unleashes with Jay, hits her multiple times, plays on top of the chair, a bunch of others, suplexes her on top of the chair and candlestick, climbs the top rope, and hits a swanton bomb for the victory at 7 minutes and 44 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this match. I kind of, I'll be honest, I kind of brushed this match away, but I actually really enjoyed it. I just won 6 out of 10. But this is Brooke's first win since June of last year, which is a crazy stat. And then backstage in the locker room, Ilya was about to leave, but Carmelo confronts him, tells him that Trick Williams will call him out. Ilya says he appreciates Hayes' friendship with Trick, but warns him if he comes out, he will break him. Then we see Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey train with Miles Bourne before Dan and Kev met them, and Kev says he's looking for partners that can push him. So it look like we're getting a new trio. And then we go to more tag team action. This time is Tony D'Angelo and Stacks, the challengers for the NXT tag team titles, go against Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. So Stacks and Nima lock up before Stacks hit the boot to Nima's face. But Bronco fires back with a short tag and tags in Lucien Price. Price and Nima hit a double short tag, but Stacks comes back with an uppercut and tags in Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo sends Price crashing in the mat, but Price fires back with a back heel kick before Nima tags in and hits a stomp to D'Angelo. But D'Angelo comes back with a couple kicks on the midsection. Stacks tags in, wears on Nima before Price takes and hits an assisted gut buster with Nima. Price hits a clothesline in the corner and tags in Nima. Stacks hits an uppercut off the middle rope as we see Axiom blindside Scripps on the floor as Scripps was on commentary. And then they get in the ring and Stacks boots Scripps in the ass as Axiom takes him with a tope suicida. So Price and D'Angelo take back in, and D'Angelo hits a pair of belly suplexes, falls with a spine buster, and with the help of Stacks, hits the bada bang for the victory at 5 minutes and 1 second. This was okay. I just won 5 out of 10. I mean, this gives D'Angelo fame with momentum into their tag title match to Sunday at Great American Bash. And well, since I'm talking for Great American Bash, it's on Sunday, so I will talk about that on next Friday's show, just where I don't want to go live during the show, so that'll be on next Friday's episode. That'll be episode 57. And then we go backstage. Dijak has a problem because of Eddie Thorpe. He says he's aiming for going what's up. Anyone comes in his way. Anyway, after the break, we see Roxanne Perez and Blair Deborah have a brawl in a grocery store. And then we go to the Supernova sessions where Last Legend welcomes fans to the show before Arn Menza introduces their special guest, Noam Dar. Jericho Jackson calls for a round of applause for the real Heritage Cup's champion, but Noam Star's in his gloomy state. So Lash then recalls Dar not being medical cleared to defend his Heritage Cup title against Nathan Frazier. And Menza as well, he gave it all. Frazier ran away with his cup. Jackson says Frazier never lost to Noam. Unless they have a surprise for him, they hand him a Heritage Cup, and Noam cheers up. He falls out of his wheelchair and grabs the cup from Lash Legend. Jackson gives Dar a proper introduction. He declares as the one and only real Heritage Cup champion. Speaking of Heritage Cup champion, Nathan Frazier and Dragon Lee didn't appear, and Frazier asks if he's really seeing double. He confirmed he is and calls Dar delusional for being unable to see he is in the Heritage Cup's champion. Noam says he actually never lost his Heritage Cup. Technically, I mean, he does have a point if we're going by technicality. And Frazier calls him a massive fraud. And then Noam calls for security to escort Frazier and Lee. Frazier says he's now recovered. There's no reason they can solve their issues. Mensa points out it's 2 against 4. And Lee asks Metaphor, but then they came alone. Then we saw behind Leon and Valentin Feroz attacks Legend Jackson for Frazier and Lee trying to lay out Dar Mensa with super kicks to close that segment. And they did make a match for the pre-show, Great American Bash pre-show, which I'll talk about after the review. Excuse me. And then there was a training fee at Thea Hill on Duke Hudson on the trade side of their match for the women's title Great American Bash. And in the parking lot, we saw after the show last week of Los Lothars, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza arguing with Carrillo as Garza they're chasing women or chasing the glory. And then we go to our main event match of the show, non-title match, Women's World Champ Rhea Ripley goes well with Laya Valkyria. Match starts with a lock before they go back for submission before Ripley hits a short tackle. Valkyria steps over Ripley, but Ripley responds with shorts to the midsection in the corner, falls with a German suplex and a drop. This is Valkyria tumbling out of the ring, takes us to a break. When we come back from break, Ripley stomps on Valkyria's foot, plants her face first. She goes for a pinball. They got 2 count. Tries to go for a riptide, but Laria counters into a sleeper. Ripley fights over, hits a headbutt, climbs the top rope, but Valkyria knocks her off, sets a crash into the outside. Valkyria looks for a dropkick for the middle rope, but Dominic Mysterio pushes Ripley out of the way and gets hit with the move instead. Then she catches her with a dive in her Hurricanrana off the apron, goes to the top rope and goes flying, but Ripley catches her, tries to go for some, but Valkyria nails a DDT, climbs back up to the top, hits a splash, and then nails Ripley with an enziguri, falls with a kick to the knee, tries to go flying off the ropes again, but Rhea catches her with a knee, plunges her to the mat with the riptide for the win at 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Wow, this was a great TV match between both ladies. I give this one 7 out of 10. And then after the match, she tells Valkyria to prove her right by being Jacy Jayne. Then after the break, main event segment, Trick Williams marches down to the ring and says Carmelo Hayes will defeat Ilya Dragunov this Sunday, Great American Bash. Calls him out to the ring. So Dragunov appears and we basically get a brawl. And then we see, he hits Williams with 3 German suplexes, dumps in the ring, pairs of forearms, tosses him in the court. Didn't realize he wanted to fight. Looks for the torpedo, but Carmelo appears on over and he takes a move on behalf of Trick. And then Dragunov grabs the microphone. He says Carmelo is a man of honor and loyalty. He tells Carmelo to hang on his friendship with Trick because that's all he has left. When he throws him on Sunday as the NXT champion, as he holds the title to close out this week's episode. I actually really enjoyed this week's episode. I just won 7 out of 10. Honestly, only match I recommend checking out is the women's match with Rhea Ripley and Ilya Valkyria. That was easily the best match of the show. And then they didn't announce anything for next week, but Great American Bash is Sunday, July 30th. So triple threat for the North American title. Dominic Mysterio defense Mustafa Ali Wesley. Carmelo Hayes for the NXT title against Ilya Dragunov. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang of Gallows for the NXT tag titles against Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. Tiffany Stratton defends the women's title against Theo in a submission match. Blair Davenport rocks. This was originally a 1-on-1 match, but they changed it to a Weapons Wild match. Gabe Stevenson versus Baron Corbin. And on the pre-show, 8-person tag match, Heritage Cup champion Nathan Frazier, Dragon Lee, Valentine Ferraz, and Luis Leon versus the Metaphor, Noam Dar, Ormenta, Last Legend, and Jericho Jackson. So, 7 matches. That's not too bad. 1 pre-show, so 6 main pay-per-view matches. But like I said, I'll talk about Great American Bash. I shall be talking about twice next week, as I'll be on Above the Ring with Scott and possibly Sack, part of the Above the Ring Championship Series contendership title. And then I'll talk on my show next Friday as well. So you'll be hearing me twice talking about it. But that is NXT. And then we'll go over to the Wednesday, July 26th shows. This is night 8 of the G1. This is block C and D. And we're back at Korakuen Hall again. So in C block, opening match, Evil gets the win over Hinari, 12 minutes and 3 seconds. Everything's Evil. Champ vs. Champion D block match. Strong openweight tag champion Alex Coughlin gets on the board by defeating IWGP tag champ Hiroki Goto, 6 minutes and 23 seconds via jackhammer. In C block, Shingo Takagi to beat Mikey Nichols, 9 minutes and 13 seconds via pinfall. In D block, never openweight 6-man tag champ Hiroshi Tanahashi to beat Toru Yano, 7 minutes and 45 seconds via high fly flow. Champion vs. champion C block match. Never openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii defeating strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston, 16 minutes and 12 seconds via brainbuster. In D block, I would count this as another upset. Shane Hayes gets win over Tetsuya Naito, 13 minutes 44 seconds via Death Valley Bomb. Non-title C block action. Tama Tonga defeat never openweight champion David Finlay via Hurricanrana pin, 14 minutes and 22 seconds. And the main event non-title D block. Jeff Cobb gets the win over the television champ Zack Sabre Jr., 16 minutes and 16 seconds. So the standings after night 8. Number openweight champion David Finlay, Evil, and Tama Tonga tie with 6 points, 3 wins, 1 loss. Second place, strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston, Shingo Takagi tie with 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses. And in last place, number openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii, Hinari, and Mikey Nichols have 2 points, 1 win, and 3 losses. And then D block, Jeff Cobb in first place with 8 points, 4 wins, 0 losses. Television champ Zack Sabre Jr. in second place with 6 points, 3 wins, 1 loss. Third place, number openweight 6-man tag champ Hiroshi Tanahashi, IWGP tag champ Hiroki Goto, Tetsuya Naito, and Shane Hayes have 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses. In fourth place, strong openweight tag champ Alex Coughlin, 2 points, 1 win, 3 losses. And Toriano in last place with 0 points, 0 wins, 4 losses. And due to his loss with Tanahashi, he's mathematically eliminated. So that was, G1. And then we'll go to AEW Dynamite. So opening match, Orange Cassidy retains the international over AR Fox. 13 minutes and 46 seconds. Pac defeating Gravity, 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Swerve going to be Darby Allin, 12 minutes 7 seconds. Britt Baker defeating Taya Valkyrie, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. In the main event, triple threat tag match, Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, defeating Blackpool Combo Club, Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley, and best friends Chuck Taylor and Champ at 14 minutes and 27 seconds. So it was AEW Dynamite. And then we'll go to the Thursday, July 27 shows. So we'll kick it off with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. They had a show at an amusement park. They split into 2 teams of red and white team. So we'll kick it off with a 6-woman tag team false count anywhere match. Represent the red team with International Princess Champ Raka Tatsumi, Hikari Noah, and Nao Kayuta, defeating white teams Palm Harajuku, Suzume, and Yuki Ari via twist of fate. 13 minutes and 14 seconds, so 1-0. And then we had a 6-woman tag team spotter competition. Represent red team, we had Princess Christian Masuki, Mayu Watanabe, and Kaya Torabami, defeating white teams Yuki Ino, Moko Miyamoto, and Endo. So basically, the red team had 31 meters and 40 centimeters for their spider, while the white team had 22 meters and 90 centimeters spider. And then 6-woman tag team steel maze battle. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the white team that defeated red team. My apologies, I got the teams mixed up. So steel maze battle, red team Raku, Neo Katayuta, and Hyper Masao defeating white team Suzume, Mara Korogo, and Yuki Kamafuku 2-1 for the red team. Then we had a push sumo battle. We had red teams Raku, Moka Mamamoto, Neo Katayuta defeating white teams Yuka Sakasaki, Maya Watanabe, Bam Harajuku. Then we had a spearhead battle. So now Kayuta from red team defeating Palm Harajuku from white team. Then we had a lieutenant battle. We had white teams Maya Watanabe defeating red teams Moka Miyamoto. Then a general battle, we had Ragu from red's team defeating Yuka Sasaki from white team. And the main event in a 16-woman tag team calorie death match. So the white team, this consists of the Princess Masuki, Yuki Ari, Yuki Kamafuku, Maya Watanabe, Mahara Korogu, Palm Harajuku, Suzume, and Kaya Torabami. Defeating red teams, International Prince Jim Rocky Tetsumi, Moka Miyamoto, Hyper Masao Raku, Hikari Noah, Yuki Ino, No Kayuta, and Endo, when Ari grabbed Miyamoto's headband. So the final score is red team with 5, and white had 1,000,001 point. So Tokyo Joshi. And then we'll go to G1 Climax 99. So this is back to A and B block. So we can go. Wish Uno going to win over Chase Owens, 9 minutes 35 seconds via Death Rider. Champ for Champ B block. KOPW 23 champion Taiji defeating IWGP Tag Champ Yoshihashi, 13 minutes and 13 seconds via Black Manifesto. And A block strong openweight tag champ Gabriel Kidd versus Keita Kiyomiya ends a double counter, 11 minutes 44 seconds, for both men do get a point. And B block, so this is Tango versus Great Khan, where the loser is mathematically eliminated. So Tango gets the win over Great Khan, 12 minutes 41 seconds via Ape Shit. And since Khan lost, he is mathematically eliminated. And A block, Hikuleo for Suji. Hikuleo must win or he's mathematically eliminated. Hikuleo gets the win, 12 minutes 12 seconds via Godsend. And then B block, EOP has to win or he's mathematically eliminated. But EOP does get the win. And so the official bell time was 19 seconds, but overall, I'd probably say this was a 5-minute match. And non-title A block. So random rematch when he's mathematically eliminated. And if Sonata wins or Owens and Kidd lose or draw, aka team progression, basically say Sonata basically gets a bye to the quarterfinals. And Sonata does that. He gets to win at 16 and a half minutes. So he goes up to 10 points. So Narita lost, he's mathematically eliminated. And Sonata gets a spot in the quarterfinals with 2 matches remaining. But I'll talk more of that when I do the full-on episode 2 G1 Weekly. And the main event, champ versus champ match. If Okada wins, he's basically first place winner for B block. But that doesn't happen as United States champ Will Ospreay defeats number 1.6 man tag team Kazuchika Okada 17 minutes and 21 seconds via Stormbreaker. So the standings after night 9. First place, IWGP World Champion Sonal with 10 points, 5 wins, 0 losses. So basically, everybody else in A block is trying to fight for second place of A block to get to the quarterfinals. So in second place, Shota Umino and Kenta Kiyomiya have 6 points, 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. Third place, strong openweight tag champ Gabriel Kidd has 5 points, 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Fourth place, Hikuleo and Chase Owens tied with 4 points, 2 wins, and 3 losses. Fifth place, Yuji Tsuji has 3 points, 1 win, 3 losses, and 1 draw. And in last place, Ren has 2 points, 0 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. So that mathematically eliminates him. And in B block, we have never openweight 6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada and United Champ Will Ospreay tied with 8 points, 4 wins, 1 loss. Second place, KOP 23 champ Taichi have 6 points, 3 wins, 2 losses. IWGP tag champ Yoshihashi, Kenta, Elfin, Dazzle, and Tangaloa have 4 points, 2 wins, and 3 losses. In last place, Grail Khan has 2 points, 1 win, 3 losses. So he's mathematically eliminated. So it's the G1. And it will go to WWE's main event. Song defeated Kira Tozawa and Nikki Cross defeating Kane Carter. So it's main event. And it will go to Ring of Honor. So we had an Imperial Rules match. Josh Bush defeated Neolism. Iceland, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. Trisha Dufresne defeated Fawn Star, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. For the 6-man tag team titles, the Embassy Con, Brian Cage, Tola Leona defeat Iron Savages Boulder and Bronson and Jack Jameson, 10 minutes, 11 seconds to retain the titles. Layla Hirsch defeating Becca, 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Tag team match with the Renegades, Charlotte and Robin defeating JC Storm and Tiana James, 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Women's champion Athena defeating Christina Murray, 3 minutes, 24 seconds in a program ground match. Tag team match with the Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett defeating the Foundation, Red Tice, and Tracy Williams. Tag team match. This is our first of 4 quarterfinal matches of the TV Title Among Contenders tournament. Christopher Dawes defeated JD Drake, 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Tag team match, we had Big Bill and Lee Moriarty defeating Adrian Solano and Gabriel Hodder, 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Another quarterfinal match of the TV Title Among Contenders tournament. Tony Nese defeating Cheeseburger, 5 minutes, 56 seconds. Another quarterfinal match, Gravity defeating Anthony Henry, 8 minutes and 6 seconds. In the final quarterfinal match, Shane Taylor defeating Sam Pentago, 4 minutes and 22 seconds. I don't know who's face up. They didn't release a bracket as this records. So we don't know who's facing who in the semifinals. And the main event of this 13-match show, Dalton Castle and the boys, Brandon and Brent Tate, defeating the Trustbusters, GSK, Slim J, and Sonny Kiss, 5 minutes and 9 seconds. It's a Ring of Honor. And then we'll go to Impact Wrestling. So before the Impact, we had Joe Hendry and Yuya Moore defeating Digital Media Champ Kenny King and Sheldon Jean, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Then the actual start with tag team action, Knockout Champ Trini and Danny Luna defeating the Coven, Kylan Kane Taylor, 8 minutes and 32 seconds. At a loose release Impact Wrestling match, Johnny Swinner defeating Sticky Dice, 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Giselle Shaw defeating Knockout Tag Champ Monster Sandwich, 7 minutes 56 seconds. Tiny Splitters, Alex Shelley, the Impact World Champion, and Kushida, the number 1 the X Division title, defeating Brian Myers and Moose, 5 minutes 53 seconds. Zachary Wentz defeating Mike Bailey, 5 minutes 55 seconds. And the main event, Eric Young defeating Nick Aldis, 10 minutes and 9 seconds. And to close out this week's show, we'll go to MLW Fusion. We have Ricochet and Page, 1/2 of the World Tag Team Champions, defeating Matthew Jackson, 6 minutes and 8 seconds. And a Bomaye Fight Club trial match, Mr. Thomas defeating Jay Bougie, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Then after the match, Mr. Thomas offered him a spot anyway. And the main event, the final semifinal match of the 2023 Upper Cup, Tracy Williams defeating Tony Depton, 11 minutes and 42 seconds. So Tracy Williams meet David Boy Smith Jr. in the finals. And that's the show for this week, guys. I'm your host, Ethan Black. I'll be back on Sunday to tell the shows from Friday through Sunday. Have a good weekend, guys, and stay safe.